There's a video just sitting on my phone that I haven't like made a video on, but I've been meaning to make a reaction or like a agree disagree type video with this whole list, talking about, you know, whether or not these people are gifted or whatever.
So today we're talking hardworking versus gifted. This is basically saying that these 8 characters worked for the power that they got, while these 8 characters were given the powers that they have. And right off the rip, my God, no. Putting Saitama to hardworking is quite literally ignoring the entire joke of the show.
So we're going to conveniently forget the fact that he had to work to get to that point, right? The fact that he's One Punch Man was a byproduct of him training so hard, he just loses all his hair. And the joke comes from the how he got to that point. It's the fact that he was doing somewhat basic training at a more extreme level for a prolonged period of time, leading for him to, I don't know, like evolve to a point where his body just does too much. So now he can exert an astronomical amount of power on a whim. The joke is also coming from the fact that he can realistically beat anyone in his verse that he comes across in one punch.
He does basic strength training and becomes a literal god. This is asinine. Oh, Nick, but he worked so hard he lost his hair. He literally just didn't use AC and he does 100 push-ups a day. Now,
so he acknowledged what he did, but because he still doesn't have to train to maintain his power, in that moment, he's not, I mean, after the fact, he's not deemed hardworking. I mean, I guess.
Yuji and Sanji, they're fine here. Both have had to train really hard to get all the strength that they have. The same goes for Issa.
Both have had to train really hard for the strength that they have. But Saitama didn't? Like, I'm so lost.
Sagi and Gon. You could say that Gon's strongest form was given to him by a nen restriction, but that's semantics. And Luffy and Edward, I'm also okay with. But Gojo's weird up here. Like, yes, I understand Gojo had to work to figure out the infinity in the 6 eyes, but he was born with the infinity in the 6 eyes.
So if you're born with a power you don't know how to use, like, okay, bro, I see what he's trying to say, but that shouldn't apply here, because of the fact that just because he was born with the abilities, that still doesn't guarantee his effectiveness in using it. You need the 6 eyes to use infinity. You need the 6 eyes to use the limitless technique properly. So for him to be born with both, sure, it makes things easier, but that's how it's intended to be used, period. Being born with an edge means nothing if you don't know how to use it.
If there was a middle section, I'd put him there. And honestly, I have less problems with the gifted side of things.
Yeah, this is where I have the most issues with the rest of the video.
Ichigo's the only person who's a Soul Reaper, human, Quincy, and Fullbringer. He's a Mary Sue if ever there was one. The same applies to Naruto. The
Ichigo thing, I mean, I guess I'm okay with that, but Naruto just doesn't make sense here. Again, just because you're born with a boatload of power doesn't mean you know how to effectively use it. Oh my God, these kids outside. Naruto had a threat within his own body. Kurama had influence over his body. So if he didn't train or build a better bond with Kurama, his body just isn't his anymore. He had to work to understand the Rasengan. He had to work to use and learn these jutsus that he knows. Sure, it's a lot easier for him to use in rapid succession because of his chi pool, whatever the fuck you want to call it, interchangeable, if I remember correctly. But because it's so like abundant upon him being not only an Uzumaki but being a Jinchuriki, you still have to learn to use these techniques. You still have to learn to train like a ninja. He trained to be a ninja like anyone else. He still had to earn his top spot. He's hardworking, not only physically, but in the sense of he had to work to become Hokage. It's not something you can just get up and do. Just because he saved the village, they've made it clear that just because you saved the village doesn't mean that you're fit to become Hokage. You have to do different things, and he did those things. He did whatever he could to become Hokage. That's just Naruto.
Child of the Hokage and the most powerful member of the Uzumaki clan and the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed beast, the strongest out of all the tailed beasts. Not to mention the reincarnation of Asura, Marisu, the last remaining Saiyan, the only...
He's a low-class warrior. He's a part of a powerful warrior race, right? But just because he's a part of that warrior race, Jesus, just because he's a part of that warrior race does not mean that he doesn't train to get there. We've seen him go from high, like low tier human level all the way to he's boxing with gods, dude. He's trained to get there. We see him train all the time. It's his physiology that allows him to break through certain limits. He's not human. He'd probably be the strongest human if he was a human. But because he's not human, we're just not going to give him hardworking. But all right. By the way, I just, as you can clearly tell, I disagree with this on so many levels. Disrespecting Goku like that is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy.
Person left from a race of people that were some of the strongest to ever exist in all universes. I do have a qualm with Zoro, because Zoro's done as much work as Sanji. I don't think...
You're correct for the wrong reasons. Zoro does more work than Sanji. Sanji just didn't have his genetics kick in. Sure, he was... I would assume he trained, like we know he trained during the 2-year time skip, but that was for Skywalk. And to attain Skywalk, I guess you'd have to train your legs to be stronger, which is fine, right? Whoop-de-doo. But that doesn't explain the distance between certain arcs where, between points where we've seen and watched Zoro train. From what we know, all Sanji does is cook. The black leg is a fighting style that Zeph taught to him so that he didn't have to use his hands. And Sanji built values off that. He just won't use his hands because hands are for cooking. So he uses his legs to fight, to deal with people, right? He makes homages and takes from people that he truly respects, whatever, right? He's grateful. He does things.
he should be down here. Asta, on the other hand, I do think should be down here. Yes, he does a lot of physical workouts, but he's born with anti-magic in a world dependent on magic. That's crazy.
In the nicest way possible. Freak that opinion. All right, look. He acknowledges the fact that Asta trains his body, right? And there's something about the fact that Asta, in terms of writing, goes through evolutions. He progressively gets better and better at using his ability. In the beginning, the anti-magic, we're ignoring that because he has anti-magic, there are certain things that he's not able to do. He can't fly traditionally. He can't learn most magical techniques because he doesn't have magic. There are things like his magic essentially prohibits him from doing things with magic. Not only does he train he's hardworking in the sense that despite everything, literally all odds are against him because he's an anomaly. He's the only person, aside from his mother, that I know of, that in canon just has no magic. You have to take a look at Asta as a character and how he progresses. His existence defies the very laws of the world, like the very norm of the world, where everyone is born within magic. Now it's a matter of the grimoire and the amount of leaves that you got that determines the ability or strength that you have, or the strength of the ability that you have. Because he's anti-magic, he doesn't have much to work with. In fact, starting off, all he had was a great sword. And it was a blunt grade sword, so he wasn't really cutting through anything. He was just striking things really hard. He was gifted an opposite ability for his verse, fine, right? You can have that. But at the end of the day, he had to train to be able to understand and physically keep up with the ability that he has. Because he has anti-magic does not mean that he's incapable of dying. It doesn't mean that he's incapable of having his life be put at risk. He had to work hard on both a understanding anti-magic front, but on a physical front as well. His body is constantly being pushed to his limit, especially going against all these high-ranked demons. But I mean, I guess
he's not born with I know he wasn't born with anti-magic, but his grimoire gives him anti-magic because his mother had anti-magic. And Tanjiro, Boruto, and Deku absolutely belong down here. Especially Boruto. He's just born a genius. And you're lying to yourself if you think that Deku earned his meta ability.
What? Did he just say Deku didn't earn? He had to earn one for all, and then he had to keep training to understand how to use one for all without killing himself. What? And then on top of that, he became the perfect vessel for one for all because of his ability to adapt and analyze certain situations. And he could pair different quirks together and use different quirks in tandem with each other in some of the most effective and creative ways possible. Now pair that with the fact that he was teamed up with Bakugo, and you got an insane combo. Two heavy hitters working together, with one with multiple quirks and another one with just an explosive, powerful quirk. And sure, Deku's intelligent, right? But you don't just become born with intelligence. So you saying that for Boruto as well makes no sense. Now, Boruto saying he was gifted, sure, fine, right? I'm okay with you saying Boruto was gifted. But your reasoning behind it is very questionable. And for you to apply that same logic, well, not that same logic, but for you to apply the whole, well, Deku didn't earn his badges, kind of crazy to me. Not even kind of crazy, it is crazy to me. This was a hard one, but if you disagree with me, everything that I said you can probably find in the manga. Like literally everything that I stated you can find if you read the manga. Or I don't know if some of the stuff that I talk about was animated, right? But the MHA stuff has been. The anime's already out. Just pay more attention to Deku and what he has to go through. Then Dragon Ball. Pay more attention to Goku. I'm telling you everything that I said. If you disagree with me, just read. And if you disagree with me with the people that are in the gifted, or the people like me leaving Boruto and gifted, if you disagree with me, just tell me why. I'm so open to learning new things. I'm not gonna read Boruto because personally it's not for me, right? But I'm not against hearing about it. You tell me why Boruto isn't gifted, and if my mind is changed, I'll let you know. Now, if you enjoyed the video or my little yap sesh, leave a like, subscribe. I'll be catching y'all later. Deuce. Just kidding. We're gonna do a plug for the gaming channel. Hey, the gaming channel finna be hot, I think. If I can get this video out, I don't even know. Yo. Yo, teach her about the sun kiss technique, yo.
Sun kiss technique, oh my god. Yo, the last thing when you get older to my age, the sun kiss technique will be like your golden chalice. You know what I'm saying? And a oral form.
Toss them into a tree, bro. That's that. We on some tough shit, bro.
Hey.